Ni mana datang yang lagi satu? Tak tahu ni mana pula ni. Macam ada dua ni pula. That's weird. Okay, sorry for the lateness ya. Saya nak parking susah betul. Ada pula motor menghalang, tak nak masuk tu. Sepatutnya motor ke tepi lah sedikit, banyak kawasan kosong tu. Dia bilang ni. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, so kat mana kita left off the last time? Which page? Mana? Okay, thank you. Let's print this one first. Okay, motor sampai lecturer nak masuk parking pun tak boleh. Macam mana kan? Banyak lagi kawasan kosong, jauh sikit pun tak nak gerak juga. Dalam muda lecturer dengan anak. They just don't think macam tak kesian dekat orang tua-tua ni kan, yang patutnya macam dia parents ya. Very self-centered. Okay. Hopefully you people are not like. All right, two classes, which is the respond, the will respond, and the will not respond. Going to be customers that will be considered as our golden customers. Okay, our golden customers. Golden customers, because we have this thing called customer loyalty. Okay, customer loyalty. So with customer loyalty, all right, we want to reward. We have a reward system. This is things that we can do to retain our customers. Remember, our goal is to retain existing customers so that they will not churn or they will not jump to another company lah, your competitor. All right, so okay, so over here we want to know basically what's the usage. Okay, the amount of usage, and therefore when we talk about amounts, we're talking about how much. Right, how much? So when how much, it is numerical value. Okay, it's numeric in value. Okay, and then so therefore we can reward our customers accordingly. So kita tak nak just bagi je the whole, all of the customers the same. Okay, the same reward. Okay, there is a reward system. So the ones who are highly using our service or product, we will reward them more. Okay, so now let's say something like this. Okay, so we have this will respond people, and here we have the how much. Okay, how much the service that they're going to use. The ones that are a lot will be rewarded highly. Okay, and this one will be little. So over here, when we get information about who will actually, okay, who are below our threshold. Let's say we have a threshold of, let's say 80,000, or maybe we can use gigabytes. Okay, previously we offered 50 gigabyte. So from here, okay, the usage is above 70%. All usage is above 70%. So those who are under that percentage, we can actually target these people to know more about them so that they can be converted over to the one that's that are using a lot. So then, therefore, this is another data analytics task that you can do. All right, also with in regression, in clustering, in classification. So what we want to know is that we want to find similar individuals. So as you know yourself, I'm sure by now, yeah, you know that there are the similarity type of algorithm, okay, and also the distance type. So these both are not really well, sort of like the way that they measure is opposite, but they have the same goal, okay, which is to find matches. Okay, so then the clustering. Okay, clustering. Up to this point, are you clear, people?
Yes, madam.
All right, thanks for the feedback. Okay, so now clustering, clustering. So with clustering, that we want to predict, for example, churn versus loyal, okay, fraud versus genuine. So we don't have that. Okay, we don't have that. And we don't care because usually clustering we tend to use it at the start, okay, of the data analytics during the descriptive analytics so that we can explore further about what we have. But of course, there are certain situations where we do use clustering at the very end because that is what we expect. Okay, that is what our goal is. Okay, so now an example, visual example would be like this. So if let's say you are clustering based on service usage, okay, so perhaps you will have clusters like this, right? But if let's say you are clustering based on gender, you're going to have two clusters. If you're clustering based on generation, then perhaps you will have these two to be one generation, these two. So, okay, next is co-occurrence. This is, I think, this. So all of these things that are in these cases and these algorithms that I'm showing you are basically very much used in business settings. Okay, so you as the computing or the mathematics or the statistics expert, okay, or people or staff, you should know that you are supporting these businesses, and therefore you need to know, yeah, what algorithms that comes naturally to business are purchased. For example, people who bought X also bought Y. So why is this important? Because when you actually have this market basket analysis or frequent item set mining in the workings, this is what they have identified. I hopefully behind there is an AI model as a predictive model instead of just putting it there. But most likely there is some model behind there or some experience or some mining that they have done, so they put it in the middle. Ada tu dekat ujung.
Let's
Kat
go.
ujung ni macam tak very. Go where? I
Login.
wonder. Go where tu katnya. Kelas pun tak nak dengar, okay? I'm sure you are a genius person, so you know no need to listen to my lectures or any other lecturer punya session, right? Terserahlah masing-masing dah besar-besar panjang, semuanya genius belaka, tak perlu nak masuk kelas, kan? Tak kat mana agaknya, tak suka nak orang tegur pun tak boleh, advice pun tak boleh, then up to you. I am going to do my job, which is to lecture, bagi ilmu. Tak nak ilmu, you want to throw it down the drain, that is up to you. You're the one who tak menjalankan tanggungjawab you, ya. Okay, so basically tengok dekat ujung ni, ujung ni macam tak very effective, ya. Sebab dia tak nampak sangat, tak nampak, because when people keluar, dia terus je keluar menuju tempat lain. So usually yang tengah-tengah ni is more effective because it's more visual. Okay, so let's move on. to the next one. Okay, this is an example. Simply, I think you understand already. Okay, what I mean. So kalau kita dekat Malaysia ni, biasanya kita akan ada zaman musim raya, biasa ada cendol campur dengan mercun. Though I don't like mercun sebab dia bising dan boleh membakar, tak tentu pasal. But this is the market basket most likely. Okay, so contohnya lah kan ada juga kadang-kadang kita kata apa lagi yang biasa bulan Ramadan apa mertabak lah kot, cendol dengan mertabak. Okay, so if let's say you letak gerai kat bazar Ramadan sebelah-sebelah cendol dengan mertabak, so most likely dua-dua akan untung. Sebab orang akan bau mertabak dia jauh dan dia akan nampak cendol, dia akan beli cendol. Okay, so the cendol person yang murah, apa, orang muda pun boleh mati ya, dia meninggal dulu. Jadi jangan rasa you muda is a long way to go. You buat tak kisah nak buat pahala pun. Alright, so okay ke sampai co-occurrence ni? Ada 61 orang kat dalam ni. Okay ke?
Okay, Doktor.
Okay, Doktor. Okay, Doktor.
Alright, so
Okay.
let's continue lagi. Okay. So profiling. So profiling is all about behavior. Alright. So behavior over here, specifically typical behavior. So you want to get the typical behavior of individuals, groups, and populations. Yeah. Alright. So over here, let's say we have an example of the cell phone usage. Okay. So again, balik kepada Chris TM, bahagian data understanding, yeah. Alright, you must choose the right data in order for you to do good quality model. So kalau data silap, data tak okay, data tak accurate, tak sesuai, so it will be very low quality model, inaccurate in nature. Right, so dekat sini, okay, kita akan tengok examples of cell phone usage, like for example, night and weekend airtime, international usage, roaming charges, text minutes, yeah. So why is it that we are focused more on night and weekend? It's because this is the time that people show their actual behavior. Right, when people have free time, masa itulah dia akan nampak behavior sebenar dia. Kalau dia busy, have a lot of things to do, basically you cannot see the main behavior. Okay, alright. So therefore, information like this are really essential. Okay, example over here, yeah. Okay, a profile of student. So a student service usage, okay. So the service usage, usually the typical behavior here, right? Oops. Okay, typical behavior here would be, phone usage would be this: WhatsApp, text, and calls. So suddenly, okay, in April, there's international roaming. So this could be an alert, or it could be genuine. Okay, it could be genuine. Because maybe this girl, okay, the student, dia pergi for Hajj. Ni kan musim haji kan? So, okay, pergi for haji lah. That's why ada suddenly, international roaming. Okay? Alright. So, lepas tu, another example would be this person, okay, for credit card. Okay, for credit card. Okay, for credit card, so could be also a genuine or a mismatch, okay, or an alert. Okay, alright, so far so good sampai sini. So kalau okay, saya nak you bagi example, bagi 30 saat. Okay, fikir jangan asyik guna jadi AI je kan. Awak semua kan pandai-pandai belaka. Jadi patutnya boleh gunakan daripada idea sendiri. So sila bagi satu example of co-occurrence. di chat box. Okay, sila letak di chat box. Kalau tak ada ni, saya consider you tak attend sebab you future tidak boleh guna semalam dan saya tak pasti hari ni boleh guna ke tidak. Jadi siapa yang tak type dekat situ, saya consider dia tak datang lah. Tak ada proof yang you datang. Baru Nurul Najwa, what is this? Were you listening to the lecture or were you not?
Sorry madam, saya tertekan.
Seorang saja yang jawab. So, Zamir sahaja yang datang. Okay? Okay, saya dalam 20 seconds saya buat start countdown sebab kita pun dah pukul 10.30 ni. Okay, saya dengar ada orang student-student dah mula nak balik dah, beli tiket lah, bas apa semua. Jadi kita stick with 1.5 hours of our lecture. Jadi saya tak nak lama-lama sangat. Nanti kan tak dapat bas nak balik pula. Kan? Jadi sila letakkan di chat ya. Okay, let me see jawapan-jawapan yang ada from the first one. Buying nasi lemak and air kosong. Okay, that's interesting. That's correct. Okay. Buying a car and insurance, coffee morning. Coffee morning, that's just one item. So that is acceptable. Coffee morning. Milk and cereal, yeah. Rain and umbrella, no. Rain is not something you can purchase. How can it be co-occurrence? You can only purchase umbrella. Cleanser and moisturizer, okay. Pakaian berkolor dan kasut hitam, okay. Roti kahwin and kopi, okay. Seluar tidur dengan baju tidur. That one is actually one item, kan? One item. Co-occurrence ke tu? That one's like one set. So consider one item. Shampoo and conditioner, bread and butter, okay. Ada lagi rain and umbrella ni. Saya pun tak tahu jet naik air mana yang bijak sangat menasihatkan you rain and umbrella ni. Cookies and milk, okay. Jersey and shoes, roti dan telur. Okay lah. Ahmad buy Coca-Cola and Sprite. Ahmad mana ni? Coca-Cola and Sprite. No. Coca-Cola dengan Sprite ni dia bukannya co-occurrence kan. Dia most likely adalah competitor ataupun substitute. substitute ataupun competing products ataupun dia substitute. So this is tak betul lah Firas Ada yang ideal. Ajaib juga saya. Kereta terbang ke? Okay. Nasi dan ayam. Okay. Phone and charger, right? Buying new phone and screen protectors, right? Depression, anxiety. Really? Co-occurrence ke? Is it? Most like, maybe lah kot. Then one and, dia selalu terjadi depression and anxiety. Okay, boleh lah. Scarf dan stocking. Ya. Scarf dan stocking. Okay lah. Cat and mice. You beli cat. Do you buy mice juga? To feed your cat. Okay, bread and peanut butter, roti canai and teh tarik, kari dan ayam botol and botol, diabetes and high blood pressure. Boleh ke beli diabetes ni? Sebab kita tengah dalam business data analytics, BDA. So the examples given are business. Yes. Memanglah ada possibility diabetes dengan blood glucose tu berkaitan. Tapi itulah we are doing examples of business because business examples ni semua orang boleh faham. Okay, semua orang boleh faham. That's why begitulah. Okay, bantal dan cadar ngantuk betul je nampaknya. Buying bread and egg, food and charger, pen and paper, nasi and telur, cake and knife. Saya ada tinggal apa-apa ke atas ni? Conditioner, okay. Ayam dan sambal gepuk. Very specific. Very hungry. Mouse and keyboard. And pen, book, pencil. Bread and jam, coffee and morning. Cannot beli morning. You cannot beli morning. Dia sebab dia business. So transactional lah. Transaction memanglah secara natural co-occurrence kalau you dalam domain yang lain yang bukan yang non-profit. So this is BDA. So kena yang berkaitan dengan business lah. Road tax and insurance, road tax. Okay. Book and laptop, pinggan dan cawan, pen and book, t-shirt and trouser, toothbrush, toothpaste, printer and ink, shoes and socks, penyapu dan penyuluh. Okay, must be a very clean person, Nizami. Alright, so I'm going to close it up. Okay, so hopefully ada 68, nanti lepas ni baru saya kira once. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, Let's continue. Okay, so this is co-occurrence. Okay, so now let's go on to this part. Okay, this part. Okay, profiling. So now saya nak you bagi example of profiling. Each and one of you, profiling. What business situation can you do, right, that can benefit from profiling? What sort of profiling can you do? Fikir. Jangan jadi je. Apa dia punya jawapan dia sama je. So maksudnya memang jadi anak. Bila lah otak ini yang dicak Okay, is it like finding error, madam? Finding error? What do you mean by finding error? What sort of profiling you can do? Online market, screen time hours. Semuanya ada question mark kat ujung tu. Online market. Macam mana online market tu? What is it that you're going to profile? Kalau online market, what is it that you're going to profile? Kalau screen time hours, apa yang you nak profile? Is screen time hours one of the data untuk profiling? In order to do profiling, you use screen time hours. Customer profiling, Pamela, like skincare business must know user skin type, product they use, brand preference. Need tulis dulu. If you share your ideas, I'll go through it online. Okay, let's have a look. Sale history. Sale history. What are you profiling there, Firas? How many hours they use phone in a day? Yes, but so how many hours is basically one of the data for profiling, right? Profiling of what? Advertisement? Profiling of advertisement? Profiling advertisement? Are you profiling the advertisement or are you profiling people who watch the advertisement, Daniel? Frequency of purchase. Isn't that a data with the profiling, Shahra? Then finding pattern of buying for sale. Finding pattern of buying. Finding pattern for buying. Is that really co-occurrence or profiling? The number of time getting scammed, are you? Okay, so again, isn't that like a data within that you use for profiling? Inventory profiling, like analyzing the warehouse data for any anomalies. That's interesting. Yeah, inventory profiling. Okay, acceptable. Good one, Danish. Social media profiling, find user segment, behavior pattern, etc. Yeah, that's interesting. That's right. Because you're profiling the user. Okay, it's actually based on the social media. Okay, good one, Omar. How often they use WhatsApp? They as in who? It's not clear. How often basically, Aina, is one of the data for you to do profiling. Profiling of what? Adlis, to consistency on buying certain items to know the pattern. Still not clear. What are you profiling there? Customer behavior buying grocery. Customer behavior. Yeah, customer behavior. So you are profiling the customer. Are you, Daniel? Risk profiling. Bank profiles loan applicants based on credit score, income, stability, debt history, and repayment behavior. Ini macam daripada Gen AI je ni. Okay. Bank profiles, loan. Okay lah tu. Gen AI. Kan? Macam kan? Macam. Alright. Transaction history in online banking. Transaction history. So still, what are you profiling? Makeup preference profiling. Need to know shade, undertone. Tu dia. Skin type, price range. Makeup preference profiling. Are you profiling the make? Can you hear me clearly? Aduhai.
Boleh.
Okay, thanks for that. Aduhai. Tengah best-best tengah nak baca ni kan. Hilang pula dia. Okay, where did I leave off? Ini macam kelas lain ke? Betul kan? Abang Zainal ni. Aku macam... Okay, saya ke bawah sangat. Okay. Mana ni makeup? Okay, makeup tadi dah settle. Content profiling, Nur Nabila. Content apa ya? Give more context. Customer profiling online bookstore. Okay, alright. Student performance. So ini Netflix punya watcher, viewer profiling ni. Profiling a genre of books read by a reader. Yes. Profiling of the books lah kot. Profiling. All the profiling of the reader lah. Okay. Add the list. Gym customer profiling. Okay. Equipments used. Okay. Customer app profiling shows the add of items. Okay. Auditory profiling. Pandai lah Gen AI ni. Kan? Hopefully you learn from them lah. From the Gen AI. Jangan copy paste sahaja ya. Electricity usage profiling. Okay. Profiling. Okay, so now let's go back to the share balik ni. Okay, all right. So, how do we know which analytical tool that method that we're going to use, ya? Macam tadi ni is quite clear. Kalau contoh co-occurrence grouping, clustering, ya. Basically, those are all unsupervised, meaning we don't need a target. Okay, we don't need a target. There's no target. Target as in the label, which is the past outcome. Okay, the past outcome. So these are unsupervised methods. Okay, unsupervised because the supervision is based on the label. So when we have the target, alright, so we use either satu-satu dia profiling ke doktor. Kalau check barang, you are profiling apa dia? Profiling the barang tu punya function ke? You are checking apa dia punya damage ke? You profiling apa dia kat situ? Check barang untuk apa? Satu-satu dikira. Dikira tu macam inventorizing kan? Inventorizing. Jadi kalau kat situ, you kira je dia inventorizing. Kalau you are saying that profiling, contohnya barang tu seasonal. Macam dengan kat sana kan ada, kalau kat Malaysia pun ada barang seasonal kan. Orang akan beli samping, kain samping, selain kalau perempuan dia memang all year round, lelaki lah. Beli kain samping, beli butang baju Melayu, tu seasonal. nak raya, nak nikah. So basically raya would be let's say in June, opportunity naik price, naik dia punya apa tu sales dia kan. And then kalau kat hujung-hujung tu orang perkahwinan contoh. Ataupun contohnya profiling kalau diorang Christmas ke barang-barang yang dia punya dekor dia tu Christmas tree lah apa. So tu seasonal, dia ada bermusim. That you can profile it based on seasons, musim-musim dia. Okay, so you can profile the barang tu based on dia punya musim. Okay, hope I answer your question, Akmal. Okay, so case 1, right? So case 1. So now, case 1, the question here is, will this customer purchase service S1 if given incentive X? So is this classification or regression? Okay, give your example or your answers in the chat box. Okay, so let me see the answers. Okay. Classification. Mostly people say classification. All right. Okay, that's correct. Okay, it's classification because you're basically trying to know whether the customer is going to purchase or not purchase. Okay, this is the keyword here. Purchase or not purchase. So it becomes categorical, all right, meaning this one group and another group. So you are predicting whether a new customer is going to purchase or not purchase. Okay, all right. So that's clear. Okay, so let's go to the second question. Which service package, S1, S2, or none, will a customer likely purchase if given incentive X? Okay, so let me just do that and then case number 2. Right, so write your answers in the chat box. Okay, let's have a look at the answers. Okay, classification. All right. Yes, it is classification because of the S1, S2, or none. Okay, so the third question, okay, is how much will this customer use the service? Okay, so is case 3. Right, so write your answers there. Okay, so let me take a look at the answers. Regression. Okay, all right. Yes, the answer is regression. Okay, is regression. Okay. All right. So well done, people. Hopefully, okay, everybody has answer. Yeah, because your attendance depends on it. Okay. Anyway, since we still have time, we're gonna have another question. Kan? Question ni barulah kita, all the neuron berhubung. Okay. So I want you to give one example. Okay, one example. Describe. Okay, I want you to describe a use case, a business use case, or a use case, right, for classification that is not covered in my class. Okay, so everyone over at the chat box, answer at the chat box. Baru sikit je orang yang jawab ni. Baru berapa orang ya? 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Baru 9 je. This one easy, classification ni every day you will be doing it. Kan? This is easy peasy. It should be at the top of your head. Tak payah nak Gen AI. Tak payah nak Gen AI pun boleh dah ingat dah. Boleh dah tahu dah. Okay, so let me see your answers. This is a this is to know whether I'm sure that you will tahu benda ni. Alright, so let me see. Answering a true false question. Classification. Okay, true false. Okay. Bank customer churn prediction. Tak aci. Ni churn saya punya example. Tapi okay lah bank kan. Email spam detection. Yes. It's either spam or ham. Okay. Right. Okay. Sama dengan Akmal. Dayang and Akmal. No, Aina scam email detection. That's right. Okay. Scam or not scam. Sentiment analysis, okay, that which you are going to be doing in this class, can good, neutral, bad. So it means that classification is not just binary, it can be multiple target prediction. And then you have sentiment mining, okay, right? And then food safety complaint sort by severity. Yes, betul? Severity. Okay, that's a good one. Driver license category manual auto. Ada Actually, driver license is just driver license je. Ada sekarang ke? Mine was all manual dulu. Memang kena pandai main gear. So don't know nowadays. What type of content is this? TikTok. Huh? Is that a question or apa ni, Omar? Are you asking me the question or what? Nur Shafia, customer satisfaction. Okay. Mobile phone price, budget, flagship. Okay, alright. So you can categorize and can ada range lah. Budget is berapa, mid berapa, flagship. Because biasa price ni is regression in nature, right? But when you put it into range, you ada range, then you kena dia jadi classification because budget, mid or flagship. And then customer purchase entry tickets based on their age. So what is the classes kat situ, Afif? Based on their age. Ada apa ya? Saya tak tengok movie lah. Dah lama tak pergi TGV ke TG. Tak tengok. Customer review sentiment. That's right. Movies genre category. Food complaint taste. Sedap tak sedap Okay. Okay lah Patricia. Loan approval classification. Okay. Flight delay status prediction. On time delay. Rights. Music genre. Okay. Classify student into categories. Oh, pass fail. Right. Loan approval. Medical diagnosis. Diseased or healthy. E-commerce product category classification. Apa kategori dia? Gadget semua tu ke Liana? Credit score, safe or risky? Okay. Transaction is fraud or not? Medical diagnosis. Normal, okay, yes. Classification, student performance, predicts. Okay, all right. Customer satisfaction, food review. Food review ni is considered classification ke? Ini macam baru review aja kan? You are not. You haven't predicted yet. So what's the prediction classification over here? Predicting loan recipient ability to pay on time. That's right. Movie genre. Jadi, I ni ke internet ni. Academic classification based on CGPA. Okay. Insurance company predict customer want to cancel. That's right. Classifying exam answers. Correct, incorrect. Ni lebih menjawab kan. Customer purchase products. So you're predicting product A, B or none. Okay. Customer satisfaction, whether student performance classification, classify students, traffic lights. Traffic light? What kind of classification is traffic light ni? Nurhana Hayati. Ajaib ya. What traffic lights? Identify if fruit is ripe or not ripe. Okay. Fundes, Dioni, Henny Felix. Identify high retention insurance product. Fundes? Are you with us, Fundes?
Yes, doctor.
Are you Malaysian?
Yeah.
Okay. So ada macam foreign students, dia suspend pula. You Sabahan
Yes.
Okay, alright. Saya ingatkan awak daripada negara lain. Saya duduk cakap bahasa Melayu, tak faham pula lah. Okay. Patutnya diorang biasanya ada dalam kelas tu they would inform us, takut diorang terlupa je. Okay, identify high retention insurance product. Identify high retention insurance product. Oh, okay. Classifies email as urgent or normal, children, adult, etc. You predict children, adult, etc. Kafi, isn't that like based on the tengok pun dah tahu dah children, adult, etc. You want to predict ke? Are you? Resume classification. Okay, football match. Win, draw, lose. Alright. Document classification. Type of content. Examples. Oh, ni my type of content. Examples of output, etc. Oh, okay, alright. Okay, that's clear. That's good. Okay, now settle. So now the last question. Okay, before we end the class, right? So want you to give describe the use case or regression. Okay, go on ahead. Okay, anybody else still haven't answered? Because it can be like what 100,000, 522. You know, so the prediction is how far off the prediction to the label. Okay, so in this case, the label would be historical data about that house's price. For example, or houses that are alike, macam that house. Okay, for example, let's say condo, okay, usually the price is, let's say 400,000. So the model predicts for 380,000. Okay, tak jauh sangat. Okay, so accuracy could still be quite okay. Cafe revenue prediction. Okay, revenue, that's right. Sleep duration prediction based on activities done. Yes, because it's numbered. Forecasting daily temperature, estimated time of arrival. Yeah, all right. Mobile plan subscription. See how long customer using the plan. Mobile plan subscription. How long? Yeah. Months. Are you saying months? Kalau months, maybe yes. Tapi usually subscription dia will be years. Boleh juga. Boleh juga ya. Okay, crop yield estimation, yes. Stock price prediction, electricity usage prediction, monthly expenses, sales prediction, estimating people's salary based on their experience, right? Good one. Hotel room pricing, forecasting delivery time, fuel consumption estimation. Kan sekarang ni fuel problem, fuel price problem. Ooh, predicting gold price. Mesti apa suka gold ni. Salary prediction, predict future stock price value. Real estate pricing prediction. Movie rating, is it? Movie rating prediction. Kalau movie rating prediction ni, if you're using like, for example, 5-star, 2-star, 3 stars, that one can actually be classification in nature tau, Hanis. Sebab dia specific, walaupun tu dia numbers, tapi dia specific labeled numbers. Macam tu. Sort of like macam true or false, kosong atau traffic volume, medical cost, electricity bill. Sekarang kan, electricity pun nak naik, predicting fuel, temperature, weather forecast, prediction weather, resume score. Resume score. Boleh juga. Gold price, house price, sales, football player, market value. Okay, berapa dia dibayar, right? Sleep duration, temperature, volcano eruption prediction. Ayo, volcano eruption. If it's based on yes or no, then that would be classification, Haziq. But if it is based on dia punya gegaran dia, you know, the tectonic punya tu movement, then it could be numeric. Okay, and then increment of all price prediction. Okay, all right, so okay, good. So hopefully all of you are It's very clear, yeah, about the regression and the classification. Because if you design it differently, sikit je you ubah, dia dah boleh jadi classification, even though it's numbers. So don't be fooled by the numbers. You should have a look at it. Usually with regression, the number to fluctuate ataupun the number is a float. You know, ada possibility dia menjadi classification ataupun macam tadi yang sebelum ni siapa tu yang buat, dia based on itu the range, range as I mentioned, range tu. Hopefully you ingat lah apa yang saya cakap tadi. One of you actually masa classification. The example was to do something apa house price punya sama ada tinggi, rendah ataupun something kan. So kalau dia tinggi, rendah ataupun something, that one jadi classification even though faham ke? Dengar clear ke saya ni?
Faham, madam.
Okay, alright. So dah 11:30. Okay, time for lunch. Alright, so I'll see you next week insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum. Have a good day.
Assalamualaikum, doktor.